Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today we will discuss solutions for weekly contest 385, and I was able to solve all four problems and also got a pretty good rank. So I got 126 rank, but it could have been better because I did some wrong submissions. This was unnecessary, but this is somewhat valid, but this is unnecessary. And I I could have gotten better rank because I solved all the questions in 33 minutes. Because of penalty it got 48. And if we say the difficulty of questions were pretty easy. First three problems were based on brute force only. Third problem was also kind brute force, but we just have to write cleaner code for better understanding. And fourth problem, again I solved it with z function, and a lot of people solved it with hashing, rolling hash or something like that, but it was, I think hashing is overkill for the problem. It is easily solvable with third function. So we'll just see the editorial for the first four problems. So first and fourth question is as usual same, just constraints are different. So in first question we are given an array, string array, and we have to count pairs ij such that uh, string 1 string 1 is the string at position I, and string 2 is string at position j, and we have to count such pairs such that first string is also suffix of string 2, and first string is also suffix prefix of string 2. So aba is this prefix also and this suffix also. So this function will return true and this function works. So I will just increment the counter, and basically we have to find I and j such that s of vector, the string at position I and string at position j, and this function satisfies each prefix and suffix of I and j satisfies, and we have to just count those number of pairs. For example, in this sample test case, 0 1, 0 is a, and string at position 1 is aba. As a is also prefix and also suffix, it will return true, and so basically I can this can be one of the pairs. Similarly, I equal to 0, j equal to 2, I equal to 0, j equal to 3, I equal to 1, j equal to 2, and so our answer becomes 4. Similar same for that second test case also. If you don't understand, you can just read this again. And constraints are very low as usual. The size of the vector is less than equal to 50, and length is also 10. So n square into length of that string means 250 into 10 is the brute force solution. So what I'm doing is I'm just first calculating both, finding both the strings at position I and j. So I 0 to n and j I plus 1 to n, and this is the necessary condition because if a string is prefix and suffix of another string, it should be less than, its length should be less than equal to string 2. So I'm just checking that condition, and this for loop to check prefix. If it is prefix, if there is some unmatching, not match in the prefix, I will just make found equal to false. Similarly, I am doing for suffix, and if found equal to true, I will just increment the counter and return counter. So there was nothing to explain, just brute force. And in brute force, majorly you should try to write cleaner code. I don't think this is the type of clean code, but I don't have any difficulty writing this type of code. You will find a lot of difficulty. You will understand what I'm trying to say in third question. So let's just skip that part right now. So this is second question. Now in this question we are given two arrays with positive integers a1, a2, array1, array2, and prefix of a positive integer is an integer formed by one of one. So 1 to 3 is prefix of 1 2 3 4 5 and 2 3 4, and a common prefix of a and b is integer c if c is also prefix of a and b. For example, here for these two numbers 565 is prefix because common prefix because it is prefix of this also and this also. So we have to find the length of longest common prefix between all pairs x and y, such that x belongs to ARR1 and y belongs to ARR2. Here constraints were bigger, so we cannot write an n square loop. And so array length in array1 length into array length 2 loop because constraints are higher. But what we can do is we can iterate in this and calculate all the prefixes. For example, let's just take this example test case 1 comma 100 110 comma 100. Now for this number what are possible prefixes? It is this only. For this possible prefixes are 1 and 10. For this possible prefixes are 1 10 and 100. So we calculated all the prefixes of for array 1. Now we will calculate again for array 2. Array 2 here only contains 1000, so I will just calculate all prefixes for 1000. So 1, second is 10, third is 100, and fourth is 1000. Now out of these both the sets uh, which is common and which is the highest number, that is 100. Its length is also its highest because its length is also bigger, and if there was uh, so we have to just return the length of longest common prefix. Here it is 3 and common prefix is 100, so answer here is 3. Similarly in this there are no common prefixes, so answer here is 0. So what we have to do, we have to pre-compute all the prefixes for one of the array, and when calculating all the prefixes for second array we have to check if it was marked by array 1 prefixes of array 1, and if it was marked I will just make answer equal to take max of current answer with length of that common prefix. So this for loop I am pre-computing all the prefixes. I have declared a map of string can int and string current, and I have also converted our integer to string, and I am adding one character into current and just mapping that string, incrementing the occurrence of that string as plus plus. So for example, if we have to calculate possible prefixes of this string, what I will do, I will just add 1 to current string, then map it with map it with 1, again add 0, map it with 1, again 0. So in this way I am calculating, I am incrementing all the occurrences of all prefix possible by 1. And this was for first array. Now second array, what I am doing is I am doing the same process, calculating prefix, but if I have already found that same string in the previous array, I will just take maximum, I will just calculate the take max of that length with our current answer, and finally just return answer. So what we have to do, we have to just calculate common prefix between them and find the longest length which is possible. So this is a simple pre-computation problem, and we, we can also do it with set, but I just use map. And don't write this kind of thing. You can write it, what you can write is mp dot find cur not equal to mp dot end, because if you write mp of cur greater than 0, so if there was not key present already, it will create one more key and map it with 0. So it increases the time complexity and space complexity, and if you use this, it will run faster. So always try to write like this, but this will not give problem if I just write mp of cur, because the possibility of values or prefixes is somewhat less, so I can just use mp of cur greater than 0. But that's not a good practice. Always write mp dot find, so it will reduce the number of key pairs which you create in map. The third question, this is just brute force. So we are given an m into n 2D matrix, and there are 8 paths: east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, north, and northeast. Means up, down, left, right, and all the diagonals between them. And I have to iterate. I have to select one path and go on that path only, and find the append that digit to current number. For example, from this one I am going southeast, so first I will append 1 and then append 9, so the number becomes 19. Now this kind of numbers are generated: 1, 9, 191. So in this path 1 and 19 both are generated, and in this path like 191, first 1 is generated, then 19 is generated, and then 191 is generated. So what we have to do, we have to find the most frequent prime number that is greater than 10, and if there are no such prime number, we just have to return -1. And if there are multiple prime numbers with highest frequency, we have to return largest among them. So let's take a matrix. Here constraints are also important. As you can see, constraints are very low. So basically what you have to do is brute force. Now brute force, uh, writing cleaner code makes it easier. So let's say I'm checking for this cell. What I can do is I can go all above, all diagonal, all right side, again all this diagonal, this direction, this direction, this direction, and this direction. So how can you represent these directions? So these directions can be represented by x and y. So if you see this as x, and let's say this is y, and so this becomes x comma y. Now moving right is just incrementing y by 1. Similarly, moving diagonally downside is just incrementing x by 1 and y by 1. Moving down is just incrementing x by 1. So diagonals are combinations of -1 and 1s, and the straight lines are combinations of -1, 0, and 1. So either one of them is decrementing or incrementing, and other is 0 for vertical and horizontal movements, and for diagonal movements one of them is -1, other one is 1. So I have declared all these directions here. So 0, -1 is just down or above, as if you consider them differently, the direction will change. Other its opposite is just one of them as positive. Again 1 0, minus 1 0. So 1 1, then 1 minus 1, minus 1 1, and minus 1 minus 1. So writing this type of directions makes the question easier. And for each starting position I am iterating and finding the starting position, and this D represents current path which we are choosing from dx and dy, and I just retrieved that I and j value in x and y and declared the number as 0. So I have to uh, calculate the path, the number which from which I am going. So this path number, for storing that value, I am using this num variable. Now until the x and y are in the matrix only, so x greater than 0, x less than n, and y should be greater than 0, y less than m. So here there is m into n written, but generally most of the questions, and I have also practiced with n cross m matrix, so I just typed the variable names. There is no issue in that. So, and for making adding that number to the right side, this is the formula. So you can just you can understand this. It is uh, just in multiplying it with 10 makes it left shift towards 1, and adding that value, so makes the unit digit equal to that number itself. So this is the formula, and I'm just adding that direction to current position of x and y, and I'm checking if the number is prime and the number is greater than 10. So these are the conditions. So number should be greater than 10 and it should be prime. If the condition is satisfied, I am just incrementing map of num plus plus. Now I am iterating in the whole map, and if I have declared two variables, long answer and int mx, mx represents maximum occurrence and answer represents the number which is repeating for the maximum occurrences. So if c dot second greater than equal to mx, I will just make answer equal to c dot c dot first and mx equal to c dot second. Now this equal also take care of this condition where if there are multiple highest frequency, they return the largest one among them, because map is ordered map. So higher value if comes later, it also considers it. So yeah, this is the logic for third question. This was pretty simple brute force. Uh, if you write cleaner code, it becomes very easy to write submit the solution faster. So let's move on to fourth question. Now fourth question was also easy. This 731. I don't know why so many less people solved it. So what we have given, this is same as first, so I will not explain problem statement, but constraints here are 10 raised to power 5. So and the sum of length of all words is less than 5 into 10 raised to power 5. So let's say the size of array is n and maximum length of string is m. So n into m will always be less than equal to 3 into 10 raised to power 5. So basically for each string we can iterate once. We can iterate to in the length of that string, but we cannot iterate in twice in the array itself. So this is expected solution is somewhat linear. So linear, we require linear solution only. So let's just take this example. A Now let's consider this is current j, and I have to find all the i's before it, such that uh, prefix of this and suffix of this is equal to previous string, any previous string, uh, previous uh, number of strings. For example, in this ABA, what are possible prefixes and suffixes such that it is equal? So first pair is a comma a, so this prefix, this suffix. Second one is ABA and ABA, because if we consider prefix of length 2, AB will not match BA. So only possible prefix suffix are of length 1 or length 3. Now I can check this. Let's say I can check this with some algorithm. For now we'll find this later, and this has complexity of m. M is the length of string. Let's say it has almost equivalent to linear complexity, and it we found all the substrings of length 1 and 3, all the possible substring which can satisfy equal prefix to equal suffix of same length. Now what, after finding this, what we have to do, we have to just simply check if this string has occurred in previous uh, all the previous strings before j. So if it has occurred, I will just increment answer with frequency of that substring. So here a was occurring before here, so I will just increment answer by 1. Similarly, ABA didn't occur anywhere before this j, so that answer will there will be no increment there. Similarly, for ABA, what are all possible prefixes? One is AA, second is ABA and ABA, and last is this ABABA. So length 1, length 3 and length 5. So A occurred previously here, so answer will increment by 1, and ABA also occurred here, so answer here will be incremented by 2. Here it was incremented by 1, here 0 because there is no other value before that. And for this A, possible string is A comma A and AA comma A. So answer also here will incremented by 1 because this A and 0 for this. So answer becomes 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, which is 4, and here answer is 4. Now how to calculate all possible strings uh, whose prefix and suffix are equal? So for that we can use z function again. So for z function, what you can do is you can go to this website, switch algorithms, go to string processing, and so here is z function. This contains very good explanation about z function, and you will understand this. So in basic terms, we are given a string. Let's say the string is a 5 times a. Now I have to calculate a vector z such that it returns a value k if head of I is k. That means k characters from current I matches with prefix of length k. For example, here z function will become like 5 4 3 2 1, because let's take example for this I where answer z of I is 3. So three characters from current index are A, A, A. And what is the prefix of length 3? A, A, A. So both of these matches. So what it 3 is what? 3 is the maximum value for which that number of characters matches with prefix of length k. So similarly here answer is z of I is 2, or here this position value is 1. Similarly for this case, if you see uh, the answer is for second position, there are two characters with which matches with prefix of length 2, and for 3 it doesn't match because third character from that index is B, but third character from start is A. So this z function basically calculates this, and the complexity of z function is O of n. So whatever our requirement was satisfied here, because the complexity is linear and we also get all the substrings. Now how this function finds this kind of substring? So basically what z function returns is z function and the prefix, the length of the length from that character which matches with prefix. Now for a string, let's say for some value I, the prefix was z function calculator value k. Now if k plus I is equal to the length of string, that means suffix from length I, suffix from index I to uh, complete length matches with prefix. So what I can say, that this string can be one of the possible substring which matches with prefix also, suffix also. Now I can found the string. I can just check if this string was uh, visited uh, before j, and I will just increment the answer. So using that function, I've calculated all the substrings like this, and I used a map to store previously visited strings. So let's just see the code now. So I have a vector of string A. So what I did was found declared n, and declared an answer and a map of string and int. Now for each j 0 to n, I'm calculating this z function. You can see the code is available here, so you can just see this code and try to understand. And I have declared a length vector. Length basically means the length of prefixes uh, which which satisfies our condition. So current z of I value plus I, if it is greater than equal to m. So the the suffix of from I completely matches with prefix. I've just pushed that length, that value of z of I in length vector, and for each length I'm iterating and calculating the current string. And if I already have that string in map, I will just increment that frequency, my answer with frequency of that string, and finally I will just increment the frequency of that string. So this was pretty simple. I don't think this was too much difficult, but a lot of people solved it with hashing, and I think it is overkill to this problem. But I expected more people to solve it, because last see almost last two contests had Z function in it, so I thought up solving it would have increased the chances of solving this question also, but no problem. So that's it from my side. Thank you for watching.